All right, we are on to Unit 10, Section 3, which is all about cylinders. We'll cover both surface area and volume in this section. To begin, recall that surface area is the total area of the faces of the 3D object, or um, the amount of material to make a hollow object. But I'll put that first part. So the total area of the faces of a 3D object. So that's just like the area around the outside of a shape, basically, is what it boils down to. And then volume is the total uh, amount of space taken up by a 3D object. Okay, so that's what this whole unit is about. It's about surface area and volume, and then each section will talk about a different three-dimensional shape. So these definitions you can expect to see pretty much in every set of notes, but surface area again is the total area around a three-dimensional object, where volume is how much space that shape takes up. So today, a cylinder is two congruent and parallel circular bases. You could think of it like a soup can or a pop can or a barrel, something like that. And the formula to find surface area, and again, it's going to require a little bit of work, just like with prisms. So surface area is going to equal 2 pi r squared. So pi r squared is the area of a circle. If we multiply it by 2, then we'll get the area of the base on the top and the bottom there. So we'll get both areas there. Plus, we will have 2 times pi times my radius times my height. So what that's going to do is that's going to find, so if I were to cut my cylinder right here, that's going to find the area around the side of a can, the side of a barrel, the side of, whatever. That's going to be the side wall here. So the first part is the area of the two circular bases. The second part would be the area of the side of that cylinder. So here we go. To find the surface area, if you know your radius, you know your height, you just plug them in and away you go. So the surface area of this cylinder here is going to equal 2 times pi times my radius, which is 2 squared. Right here is my radius. Plus, so that'll give me the area of the two circular bases, plus 2 times pi times my radius, which is 2, times my height, which they tell me is 6. So if everything's given to you, it's pretty straightforward. You just plug the numbers in and you're done. So if I simplify this, this would be 2 pi times 4. This is going to be, so 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times, didn't mean to do that. 4 times 6 is 24. If I multiply 2 times 4 here, I get 8 pi plus 24 pi. So this would be 32 pi centimeters squared, or you can convert that to a decimal. This would be an exact answer. The decimal answer would be, if you take 32 times 3.14, it's going to be about 100.53 centimeters squared. So either one of those are acceptable. I would venture to guess most people end up using the decimals, which is fine. But there you go. So that's surface area. If you know your radius, you know your height, you're in really good shape. To find the volume, just like with prisms, volume is a lot easier. There's less work required because we're finding the amount of space it takes up. I don't need to find the edge of that thing. I just need to know if I were to cut the top off, pour water in it, how much water could it hold, kind of a thing. So the formula for the volume, like I said, much easier, is going to be pi times r squared times h. Pi r squared h. So again, if you know your radius, you know your height, you just plug them in and you are done. So we have the same cylinder here that we just found the surface area of. So this is how much material it would take to find or to make this shape, to make the outside of the shape, hollowed out, of course. This is how much, for example, water it could hold. So the volume is going to equal pi times my radius squared. So my radius is 2. Make sure to square it times my height, which is 6. So if I clean this up, pi times 4 times 6. 2 squared is 4. And then 4 times 6 is 24 pi centimeters cubed. So that would be volume. That would be the exact volume. Or you could do the same thing and take your 24 times 3.14, and you get something. It should be approximately 75.40 centimeters cubed. So again, either one's fine. The only difference is the first one's an exact answer because pi is an irrational number. It has no ending. It just goes on and on and on. The second one is just taking 24 times 3.14, and that's just a rounded approximate answer, which is pretty close, but it's still an approximate answer. And that takes care of cylinders. So pretty straightforward if you know your radius and your height.